Apparently they think so, but we're going to Democratic strategist Christy Seltzer, Emily Shasinski, and Maddie Doppler from the National Taxpayers Union. Good to see you all. Maddie, what's really going on here? I mean, I just don't get how it's ever helpful to talk about taking people's money and redistributing it. I just think it's fundamentally anti-American. You can go all the way back to the founding fathers and the roots of our country. It's not what we're about, and yet the Democrats try to keep selling this idea of wealth redistribution.
Yeah, Trish, here's the thing. It's no secret when it comes to Democrats exactly what their economic vision for the country is. Not a single Democrat voted for the Tax Cut and Jobs Act, even though it offers tax relief for Americans at every single economic income ladder in this country. So this is a tax cut across every single income group in the United States that Democrats couldn't support to begin with. And now they've spent every single day since then saying how if they get power in November, they want to repeal those tax cuts. They think that's a winning economic message. But let's look at the history here. Over the course of President Obama's presidency, Democrats lost almost 1,000 different seats in state, federal, and local elections because they gave that exact same message, which is that they want to take money away from Americans and spend it themselves. It hasn't worked at the polls. It certainly hasn't worked as a policy objective, and it certainly won't be successful for them in November.
Okay, so Christy, why do the Dems keep doing it then?
It is actually a successful message. Look, I think that there's no reason why we should concede that the tax cuts have been good for the American worker, because they just frankly have not. Who it has been good for is American CEOs. If you're the CEO of a large corporation, you've gotten a ton of money out of the tax cuts. The problem is that you've hoarded it for yourself, not down to your worker.
Okay, so I'm going to just stop you because
salaries have actually gone down.
I have to actually stop you because
wages have gone down since the tax cuts have been implemented.
That's not actually true. Adjusted for inflation, wages actually have gone up, and they're continuing to rise. And I'm with you. I'd like to see them go up higher.
Real wages have actually, if you look at real wages, has gone down about 10%.
Let me also
That's what
add
Bloomberg
this.
reported last week.
Did you see the GDP print?
Yeah.
4.1%. That ain't too shabby, right? Have you seen
super.
how many jobs we have been adding to the economy, Christy?
Yeah, that's super.
Did you see the
problem
bonuses?
is that the bonuses have been incredibly anecdotal. Across the board, most people have not seen any bump in this. And that is a real big problem for Republicans, is that people are not feeling it in their pocketbooks. You can laugh, but that's true.
Emily, your thoughts?
Well, I think a couple of things here. First of all, I think some of these Democrats are picking up on public opinion polling, which you can argue is it's sort of there's still mixed opinions on the tax cut, leaning towards the direction of people actually opposing it. Now, you can argue that's a communications issue from Republicans, or you can argue that people really aren't feeling the tax cuts. But at the same time, Democrats seem to be latching onto this and saying they're not going to campaign on this issue of higher taxes. That is never a good campaign strategy, whether you're in California or Massachusetts.
You know, Maddie, I would agree with you and with Emily. I don't think it's a good campaign message, yet it's one that they've tried unsuccessfully, although Christy disputes that.
We will take it under advisement, Trish.
And who's in the Oval Office, and there may be a reason why one group won and the other didn't, and doesn't that come down to issues of the pocketbook?
Right.
Maddie?
Here's the deal. You can argue that Americans aren't feeling the tax cut, but we know that they are, because look at the consumer spending numbers for the last couple of months. You're seeing Americans not only have more money, but spending more money. And they're showing that there's confidence in the economy. And that comes on the consumer side of things. That comes on the business side of things. We're seeing investment once again from businesses. And that's all due to not only the tax cut, but the deregulatory environment that we haven't had for years and years. So to say that Americans
getting a lot of
feeling
money
better,
is what that is from. And distributing it back to their shareholders.
Let me get Christy in here. You say it's just CEOs. Nobody else is benefiting right now. Only the very tippy top of America.
Sure, the very tippy top, who then uses that money and the profits that they're getting to spread it back to their shareholders, of course. But if you're not a CEO, you're not a shareholder, you're not somebody who has huge investments in the stock market, no, you are not feeling those effects. And so
here's the problem with Democrats. Democrats have all the data to the contrary. Democrats have all the data to the contrary. Every single month they see that things are getting better for Americans, and they refuse to believe it. And that will be at their own peril in November. Americans will know that they are feeling better, and they will vote in accordance with that.
I think you're getting good advice here. And, you know, there are ways for you to approach this. I've talked about it often before. You know, that sort of blue-collar Democrat who was once a core of your party, you've lost them. You've lost them because you're not about work right now and keeping what you earn. You're about wealth redistribution, and it doesn't fly or play in Peoria, as they say. I got to leave it there. Thank you so much to all of you. Supreme Court.